You ever get that feeling, that quiet, nagging feeling when you look at prices and you just know your money doesn't go as far as it used to? It's not in your head, it's real. It's like this. Money just melts. Your paycheck hits the bank, the number looks the same, everything seems fine on the surface. But it's happening silently. The amount of stuff you can actually buy with that same paycheck, well, it just keeps shrinking. That coffee, your groceries, that trip you were planning, it all gets a little bit further away, month after month. And all the while, you hear the official story, right? The government says, oh, inflation is just temporary. The central bank chimes in, don't worry, it's all under control. But your wallet? Your wallet doesn't lie. And it's at this exact moment when trust in paper money gets a little shaky that for thousands of years, humanity has turned back to one thing: gold. So that's the big question we're tackling today. Does it actually still work? Or is this just some ancient reflex we can't shake? Let's figure out if gold is a real shield or just a memory. Okay, so let's dive right in. What is it about this shiny yellow metal? I mean, you can't eat it. You can't use it for fuel. So why have entire civilizations been built on it? Well, it all comes down to a few very simple, very powerful ideas. Gold's power really boils down to three core strengths. First, it's limited. You can't just print more of it or create it with a keystroke in a computer. Second, it's practically indestructible. It doesn't rust or rot. A gold coin from the Roman Empire is still, gold today. And third, and this is the big one, it's nobody's liability. Its value isn't based on a promise from a government or a bank. A dollar is a promise from the Fed. A piece of gold, it just is. So the theory sounds pretty solid, right? But let's put the theory aside for a minute and look at the cold, hard numbers. Has gold actually protected people's wealth when things got tough? It's time to put it on trial. Now, what's really interesting is that gold's track record is not a simple straight line up. Not at all. It's really a story told in three completely different chapters. You've got the 1970s when inflation went absolutely wild and gold skyrocketed. Then came a long, painful 2 decades where it basically went nowhere. And then another huge rally after the financial crisis of 2008. And this slide really shows you the paradox. In the 1970s, with inflation in the double digits, gold's price went up almost 8 times over. An absolute clear win. But then look at the next period, from 1980 all the way to 2000. Inflation was still a thing, but gold actually lost value in real terms for 20 long years. So yeah, this is a huge reality check. Gold is definitely not a guaranteed short-term fix. And that brings us to the part of the story that gold bugs, the biggest fans of gold, really don't like to talk about. It is not a perfect asset. Far from it. In fact, gold has some pretty big weaknesses that you absolutely have to understand before you even think about buying it. So what are gold's weak spots? Well, first, it doesn't generate any income. It pays no interest, no dividends, no rent. It just sits there, which, let's be honest, is pretty boring when the economy is booming. Second, your timing is everything. If you buy at the peak of a panic, you could be waiting years, even decades, just to break even. And finally, its price is almost entirely driven by human psychology. It soars on fear and it slumps on confidence, which makes it incredibly volatile. Okay, so we've seen the good, we've seen the bad, and we've seen the, well, really frustrating parts of owning gold. So where does that leave us? What's the final verdict? Is it an ancient relic, or is it still relevant today? Here's a really fascinating clue. Despite all the talk about crypto and new digital assets, guess who's still buying and holding tons of gold? The most powerful financial players in the world, central banks. Why? Because they know deep down that if the whole system really starts to crack, nobody is going to care about their fancy spreadsheets. They're going to care about their gold bars. And that brings us to maybe the best way to think about gold. It's not an investment you buy to get rich. It's insurance you buy to make sure you don't become poor. Think about it. You don't buy home insurance hoping your house will burn down, right? You buy it just in case, for that small chance that it might. Well, gold is financial insurance against a total system failure. And this leads us to maybe the most powerful idea of all. Gold isn't an investment. It's a memory. It is the collective financial memory of every single currency that has ever failed, every government promise that has ever been broken, and every crisis that was supposed to be just temporary. So in the end, the real question isn't, will gold make me a ton of money? A much better question to ask yourself is this. If our money starts to melt again, Where am I going to stand? Gold might not be the perfect answer, but for thousands of years, it has been an answer. For more explainers like this one, hey, don't forget to like and follow. We'd love to have you back.